National Adaptation Program of Action, and also the other studies carried out earlier, like the vulnerability assessment to climate change and the sea level. We tried is to do a further assessment of those portfolio of the project where this project is going to be implemented in the sense of the climate change and the disaster assessment. And then try to come up with the adaptation and the risk reduction option. And these were primarily based on, again, the earlier studies and the expert experience and also the learning from other part of the world, that how this the program can be incorporated, the adaptation component in it as an additional component.
And they're across the street. So one of my main problems in our work is we know the two networks are existing. The networks of community-based work, and we have many of those presentations here today, and they will continue to be. How can we speed up this process of dialogue? One of my troubles is that we do not have a direct question to ask you, and apparently the same is happening the other way around.
Kind of networks of people as a technology. There's a good example from Indonesia where farmers have been organized into groups, networks of people, to distribute and support the implementation of climate information. So that's very much about seasonal forecasting, teaching farmers how they can be used and grouping them in ways that distribution is made effective.
That article recognizes the specific needs and special situation of the LSS. And NAPAs really, and they're all in different COPs. We have progressed a little bit from that article. In one COP, it decided that they should form a sort of NAPA. Then another COP guided us for the preparation of a guideline sort of that. And in some way, in some sequence. And second, meeting of the parties now here held in Nairobi, Kenya. The United Framework Convention on Climate Change is organizing the conference. 189 countries are the member of the UNFCCC. Dr. Salimul Haq, who is now the director of the Climate Change Program of International Institute of Environment for Development, UK. We asked him why Development and Adaptation Days, we organizing Development and Adaptation Days.
The reason for organizing the Development and Adaptation Days at the COP is to bring together the people who are interested in both the issues of development and adaptation, which is a growing number, but within the COP itself, which has many thousands of people, there are only a few hundred people who are interested in this issue. And it's very difficult for them to get together in the Conference of Parties venue itself. So the reason we have this event outside is for them to come together, to have an opportunity to share their information and their knowledge, and to get to know each other, because many of them don't know each other. So this is a very good opportunity for getting them together, to network, to share information, to bring publications that other people can have as well.
That the Annex 1 countries should be fulfilling their commitments, and we'll see the need for adaptation will be smaller. But coming to the COP MOP and COP 12, we see the Annex 1 countries have not been able to fulfill their commitment with regard to the emission reduction.